Hey, here we are at it again. It's Thursday. I gotta go pick up food for the food pantry. And yeah, last video about, talking about these guys trying to look for jobs that are jobless. They can't say there's no one hiring, but if you go to the right area, like I went online and looked in my city, and there was over a dozen jobs. There's probably for what their talents are, their skills. Being that young, you may not have the skill. But the jobs are there. It's real, and it's real that $20 an hour is a minimum hourly wage. That's for flipping burgers, making sandwiches. Personally, the government getting involved in that's messed up. I get there's inflation. I get it. I guess if you go back 100 years ago, where they make 50 cents an hour, maybe 35 cents an hour flipping burgers at McDonald's. It's possible. Then it went up to say, $3.35 was the minimum wage, and I remember it went up to like $5.65 and seven something, $7.45. So basically, what I want to talk about today is get in the construction industry. Do you really know how large the construction industry is? It's huge. It's huge. When people, for those that don't understand, when they hear the word construction, I don't know if they just think about housing. It's way more than just housing. It's building roads, bridges, cooling towers, building factories, building industrial buildings, building your Targets, building your Walmarts, building schools, libraries, police stations, fire departments. It could be as simple as building fences, cutting down trees as an arborist, asphalt, doing pavement, like I said, concrete. The quick basic ones I think what most people think of when they hear construction, is the carpenter, electrician, a plumber, an HVAC, roofer, drywaller. You got cabinet makers. You got granite companies that make the granite countertops. You got the quarries that a lot of those quarries, they're out of the country. You're talking like Brazil. Our countertops, the granite came from Brazil. But there is such a huge demand for construction workers, and that's across the entire board. We're probably short over 7 million construction workers throughout everything. That's not just electricians, plumbers, carpenters, concrete workers, road workers, even the person holding the flag, the stop sign, stop and slow. Oh my gosh. And you got the guys that drive the dump trucks, hauling trash. It's it's a huge industry, and you won't go wrong getting into the construction industry. Don't think back in the old days that those were hardcore men working in the industry. You see those pictures of the iron workers in New York, or even Chicago. The Sears Tower, John Hancock building. Those men that were walking the iron beams without harnesses. When OSHA got involved, just due to the amount of injuries and deaths that were happening in the 60s, the 70s, and then even the 80s is I believe that's when OSHA started. And, coming out, making sure you're practicing job safety. And now today, it almost got to a point where it's like, how do you get this job done? And, you just practice proper safety procedures, and unfortunately that pricing from the contractor, that cost gets added to the owner. The person that owns that building is going to pay for all that extra money, all those extra costs. But I highly recommend anyone that wants to get in the construction world, get into it. I don't care if you want to be a concrete guy. I'll list the jobs that are backbreaking. Well, they all have different degrees of highly physical times, but with the tools that they provide, the equipment, it does ease up the physical impact on your body. Ones that won't is like, if you want to be a carpenter or a framer, that's physical. If you want to be a mason, that's physical. If you want to be a tile setter, layer, that's physical. Concrete worker, physical. That's probably the most physical, in my opinion. Concrete workers. That is some heavy ball busted work. That's something you get into when you're young. And then you learn the trade, you learn how to do concrete, and you know what you could possibly do, you end up becoming a foreman. Yeah, you could be a working foreman, but you work your way up the ladder like anything in all the industries. But one thing that is a fact, construction is the foundation of our country. Without us, there would be no infrastructure. Without us. And then the argument goes back, well, if it wasn't for doctors, you wouldn't have. Well, doctors can be replaced, and so can construction workers. But you're not going to have a building built without construction workers. It's kind of it's a stupid argument, anyways. Just accept it. You need us. I'm not saying it has nothing to do with being better, but we're a dying breed. And I've read articles. I have that app next door. It's like, does anyone know a plumber? Anyone know an electrician? Anyone know this? Thank God I know how to do all that stuff, because I do it myself, and that's the advantage. If you listen to the last video, I have experience, due to my father and even my grandfather. Is generational down of being taught on how to be diverse in all the trades. Just word of advice, you young guys and gals, you want to get in the industry. I work with many women in the workforce. Like it says, if you're in the main city, obviously it's a lot easier. If you're in Chicago or New York or New Jersey, places like in Nevada, like Las Vegas, California. If you're in a lot of these cities, bigger cities, you have a lot more opportunities. And I'm going to do a breakdown video, kind of like I'm going to list off I can list off right now verbally, but I'm going to try to get a list of all the trades that you can get into. You could get into telecom. You could be a lineman. What's a lineman? A lineman knows how you get the main power, and it goes to the transformer, then from there to your house. Well, all the high tension wires and that, those are linemen. A buddy of mine, he's a lineman. He's making huge money. It's up mid six figures, and he's been in six figures for years. Even with this inflation, he's had time to invest and do whatever. But get into construction, folks, young guys and gals. Just do it. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to all the you end up with bad knees, bad back. yeah, I'm disabled with my back. I've had back surgery. Was it from construction? It was not. Well, I gotta get gas. I need. I was born with spinal stenosis, severe spinal stenosis, and at 5 years old, I fell 14 feet to my death almost, and on a concrete floor, and I busted up my L3 to L5. Those discs were all herniated, and I still got into construction. And over time, you start doing exercises, you start working out, start getting stronger, you start doing whatever to get through it. And I tell you, when I woke up in the morning and went to do a job, I did a lot of schools, a lot of hospitals, hundreds of homes, and I was in the residential and commercial end. I think I did like one semi-industrial type job, but the money can be made, and it's not only just your wage, it's your health benefits. You know, in the unions, you can get a pension. I'm sure non-union companies, hopefully they have a 401k for you, and you can work your way up the ladder. And before you know it, you're a superintendent or you're a salesman. A buddy of mine, he was a carpenter for many years, and he went all the way up to become a superintendent, overseeing many projects. And that's the goal you want to achieve for yourself. Learn the trade, be great at it, be very knowledgeable, where you can become in some sort of supervisory type position. And I did it. I busted my butt physically, and then I worked my way up to the top. Yes, I worked for a family business. I'll brief that real quick. I was with my father for 15 years. I didn't like the way things were going, just due to his brother-in-law brought in as a partner. I was watching him just run the business down. I left. I went to a union company. All the guys I was training and hiring, they were leaving, going union. And our shop was union, and then my father got out of it. That's another story. But I'm like, oh shoot, man. If I'm only making, in those days, in the early 90s, if I'm only making 90 grand or 60 grand, these guys are making 80 grand, and my knowledge blows theirs away, you know, probably by 30%. I'm leaving. I'm going where they went, and I did. And not even, I ran my first job right away. It was a fire department, brand new fire department. I ended up making the company like over 100K profit, and they loved me. And before you know it, in 6 months, I wasn't the top dog, because the top dog, he would never give that position up or wouldn't share that title. I ended up becoming, you know, general foreman / superintendent in 6 months because of my knowledge. And then before you know it, I'm making, and I was doing side jobs too. So if I'm making 90 grand, 95 grand in the 90s, and then I'm doing side jobs, I was doing probably another 50K cash doing side work. Electricians do it, plumbers do it, carpenters do it. I'm talking in my generation. I don't know about the younger generation. I've talked to guys that are carpenters or this. I'm like, hey, would you be willing to do a little side? Help me out. I gotta redo like the deck I need to redo. I can't do it physically. And out here in Colorado, trying to find tradesmen, guys. You know, my resources are all in Chicago. I miss you guys, man. I miss all you. I do concrete guys, plumbers, electricians. We would barter. I would do, I don't know, they need an air conditioner, I would replace an air conditioner for them. And if I had something I needed, like something I didn't want to deal with, and you know, basically you're doing barters, helping people, helping friends out. You just do a trade. It's like, all right, we'll come to my house. And actually, when I was building the house, I bartered with a guy, do all the electric in my house. And I ended up doing, he was renovating his house, and I ended up putting a brand new, a whole new HVAC system in, ductwork, furnace, air conditioner, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, I would do the gas piping and all that. Obviously, he did electric to his own furnace, all the furnace and the equipment. But my point is, get into the trades. Get in the trades. You will not regret it. Yes, you're going to work in the cold, depending on where you're at in the country. Yes, you're going to work in the heat, but you know what? That's going to make you be proud of what you do for a living. I was very independent, so to speak, of everything in the industry. I didn't need somebody. I didn't need someone to come to my house and replace a toilet. I could do it myself. I didn't need someone to come to my house and put an outlet in my house. I could do it, or whatever it was. But man, good luck to all you guys, and thanks for watching. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. This is I'm trying to do this as, I don't know, I guess a side hustle, something different. I got to get a little bit more techie savvy. I may not be there with that, but as far as anything with how to do anything around a house or whatever it is, construction, and like I said, construction's a huge industry, and I want to get into a video about that in a little bit more detail. But you all have a great day, and hit that subscribe button. That'll help me grow my channel. And yeah, like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you're interested in getting into and how to get around to it. If you have a union hall near you, visit your union hall. You may have to take an aptitude test, and then finding a company that's looking for apprentices. They have the pre-apprenticeship. They give you a trial run for like 30 days to see whether or not you're up to snuff, whether or not you're worth training. And I've only dealt with, I think, there's one or two young kids that were trying to get in the sheet metal union in Chicago. They didn't pass the aptitude test, and unfortunately, we just couldn't keep them. But I enjoyed the construction industry. You meet a lot of amazing people out there. In my position, I got to meet a lot of amazing architects, engineers, business owners, besides in all your tradesmen and women out there, and pipe fitting, concrete, carpentry, drywall, whatever, laborers, mason, every part of the industry. I got to meet a lot of great people. So on that note, you have a good one. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.